Hi everybody. I just wanted to touch base with everybody really. I know I've sort of dropped out of the equation for a little bit very promptly, but I just wanted to catch up really, and I don't know what to say really, except that I'm glad that I have learnt all the skills that I have learnt. As you know, I had a quick dash up to Edinburgh, and I'm glad that I know how to use my breathing to my advantage. And whilst my husband Nick did some sterling driving, and thankfully the traffic was easy, unlike when we were up here only last weekend, and it took us 8 hours because the M6 was absolutely jam-packed. We got up here fairly easily and got to the hospital about 11:15 at night, I suppose. And boy, is Western General in Edinburgh a difficult place to get into, which is all good for the patient's sake. So we got here, and then it must have taken us about 3/4 of an hour to actually get to the ward, because there was nobody about. All the doors were locked. The maps all around the outside of the campus were rubbish to follow. You go down a little alleyway and come to a dead end, and eventually we just happened to stumble across some nurses going home or in the middle of a night shift or something, who helped us find our way. And we got there to be greeted by such wonderful staff, really brilliant staff. And we stayed for a while, and then we decided it was to try and get some kip. It must have been about 1:30 in the morning, I suppose. And I just woke up in the morning, and on Thursday morning, and the first thing I remember thinking was, I've got to do some Reiki on my son. Now, if I did my Reiki training last year, and I think it is a fabulous therapy, but I found it difficult to connect with because I didn't feel as if I was getting any feedback from it. When I'm coaching, when I'm massaging, when I'm teaching, I get instant feedback. But I just woke up and I just knew that this is what I had to do, and with the oils. So on the journey up, because I immediately put my essential oils Bible in and my oils, and I started investigating what oils to use. Now, just to fill you in, my son is a mountain bike rider and racer, and thankfully he was out with a wonderful friend, done the fast stuff, the difficult stuff, and was on an easier trail, and his wheel clipped on the ground. Front wheel hit a root or a tree stump, I don't know what, and he just went over the handlebars. And he had all the emergency services out to him, so that was the paramedics, the police, the fire brigade, and it was actually the Coast Guard helicopter that airlifted him to the hospital. And boy, is it good to have good friends. Rob looked after him constantly, he looked after us constantly, and all I knew it was bad when Rob said to me, Pete, that's my son, Pete says he loves you. And I knew it was bad. So all I knew was that he was in good hands, he was breathing, he could see, he could talk, but couldn't feel anything from the shoulders downwards. So I got my magic book out, and it said peppermint, lemongrass and geranium. So peppermint and lemongrass for stimulation of the cells, and geranium for regeneration of the cells. So on Thursday morning, when I woke up knowing that I had to do Reiki using the oils, I went and spoke to the nurse on charge, the duty nurse, and explained what I wanted to do, and she said leave it with me. I never got to see her again the next day, and I'd been to see him, been out and about, having a rest, came back, and the staff nurse looking after Pete that day said to me that the physio had been down and it was absolutely fine to do the Reiki, to use the oils, and then just gave me a few instructions of what not to do, what not to manipulate. So I've got to work now. Anybody who knows my son, he is an engineer and thinks that all these oils and all this Reiki and all of this stuff is a load of mumbo jumbo, but I was privileged and I could practice it on him for the first time because he couldn't go anywhere. I got him lying down nice and still, and I can massage and Reiki to my heart's content. And I sought advice from my really good friend and my Reiki teacher and Reiki master, Sharon Loud, who is now the Fern, owner of the Fern Reiki Centre around Wolverhampton, and I sought advice from her. Hello, Pippa, lovely to see you on here. And so we had a little tutorial over the phone to just keep me on the right track, because of course I hadn't done any Reiki for a while. And also I was able to talk to Pete about what to concentrate on and to visualise his spinal cord and start concentrating on the cells, on the damaged areas, and rebuilding the cells and knitting them together. Oh, thank you, Pippa. That's really lovely, I know. Much love to you guys as well. And so while I am practicing the Reiki on him, that's where I'm sending the energy to, primarily, and asking help to be able to do that. And he's working hard. He's working hard. But probably, 10 years ago, I don't think I would have been able to do it, because I didn't know all these skills and how to use them properly. So I've been able to not only use them on myself, but also to really use them. Hello Vicky, lovely to see you here, and thank you. The Reiki bubbles, I like that. And to really be able to help him to help himself. And I don't really know what else to say really, but I am here. Even though I'm here with Pete, I'm also thinking about everybody else as well. And actually it was really, really nice today, because he's moved bays and he's by the window now, so we got some sunshine coming through, and it was nice and quiet on the woods, and I got the oils out and I was doing the massage, and then I could hear the nurses going, "It really smells nice in here, what's going on?" And I can hear people going, "Oh, it's Pete's mum. She's got some oils." And it was so nice to know that at the other end of the woods they could smell the oils, and it was benefiting them, it was benefiting the other patients on the ward. and it was nice to pop some of the oils on the nurses' uniforms, just one of each on the nurses' uniforms, so they've got it with them to take around the ward, spread, pass it on, and help other people. So I am about. I did a little interview today. Because today I was meant to go to Coventry to Radio Plus to do an interview about oils that is going live in a few weeks, but we did it over the phone instead. And as soon as that goes live, I will pass on the link so that you have a little listen to it. And I did discuss Pete as well, because I felt it was important to hear about it in a real life situation. And I want to be doing Let's Talk on Wednesday evening at 8 o'clock. I'll be back up here in Edinburgh to be with Pete, and it's just a different way of living now for a little bit, isn't it? You know, and us as a unit, as a family, is split up for a bit. You know, I've been away from my daughter, away from my dogs for a few days, and then we're going to do a little bit of a swap and a change, go home. Nick, my husband's going to stay at home, look after the dogs, earn some money, see some of the family, and come up here with my daughter so that she can spend some bit of time with her brother. And I'm not sure what's going to happen after that. We'll just have to see. More surgery on Monday. Keep using the oils, keep using positive thought processes, keeping Pete staying positive, working on the visualization with his spinal cord and his lungs, so that he gets to breathe on his own rather than through a machine. And we'll go from there. So I'm not sure where we are with Let's That. I might put the two together, because it's courage and I can't remember what it is, I'm afraid. But courage and another C to do with keeping your normal sane or something like that anyway. So we're going to be knocking off here soon. And yes, I would love, and Pete's dad would, and Pete's girlfriend, we'd all love to spend the night surrounding Pete and holding his hand, but we can't, because this is a long job. It's not a quick fix, and Pete would have us there all night, and I would be the same if I was in his position, but he's got to get his sleep, his rest, so that his body can heal itself, and we've got to get ours as well. And that's the difficult bit, leaving at the end of the day. But then that's the only way we help others, isn't it? By helping ourselves first, so that we can all move forwards and upwards and in the right direction. So I'm going to be off. I'm getting cold because the sun's going down here in Edinburgh, and I'm shivering a little bit actually. So I'm going to go in and go and say my nights to Pete, and I will do my best to post what I can when I can, and I'm going to try my best to do Let's Talk on Wednesday. So keep safe. I'm saying this to a lot of people at the moment. Keep safe, keep positive, keep using your breathing techniques, and I will speak to you on Wednesday somehow. Okay, good night everybody. Night night.